Hello and welcome to this week's Unearthed Observer Market Watch. First of all, I hope everyone had a great Christmas and enjoyed the festivities over the past few days, it sort of extends out to weeks almost, and also with the upcoming celebrations on New Year's Eve. Please make sure that you take care and it's safe celebrations. But let's look at what the markets did last week, and at the moment we're looking here at the Australian 200 index, and it's the weekly chart. So as you can see from this last weekly bar, it's quite a strong rise up. It was actually an increase of 2.8% for the Australian market, which is quite nice and strong, especially relative to some of these smaller bars on the previous weeks in the upward direction. They were all fairly small or quite weak, where when I'm saying weak, it's that the close wasn't on the top of the bar. In this case, it was midway down. In this case here, it was actually at the bottom of the bar. So this is a really nice strong bar, especially in comparison to the previous bars. Now, it hasn't yet taken out the previous weekly swing high as yet. It'll be nice to see that it breaks that area there. So again, on the Australian market, it is moving, showing a little bit more strength in the upward direction, but it hasn't taken out the two previous highs. So again, it's not telling us specifically that it's most likely going upward as yet. I'd like to see, it has actually broken out of, like if we're looking at the typical pennant pattern, it has actually broken out of the resistance there in the formation, but I would like to just a little bit more confirmation where it's actually taking out the previous swing high would be my favour. And we actually do have a significant turning date, which was on the 27th, but as that fell on Sunday and we had obviously a public holiday on Monday, it can be 2 days either side of that. So we'll look at that on the daily chart anyway. But let's move to now the FTSE index, which is the UK English index. Now this was quite interesting. Oh, sorry, I've gone to the daily chart there. I wanted to go to the weekly chart. They had a very strong week last week. It's actually 4% this rise, but as you can see, it stopped smack bang in line a little bit above the previous high, but only slightly. So I like to see a much stronger break above to really confirm that this market's going upward, but it is most certainly a very bullish bar. As you can see, the open and close are on the end of each of the opposite ends of the bar. So it's a very bullish bar and looks like it will continue upward, but in the financial markets, never say never, so you never know what is going to be happening. So it's just more of what is the market telling us of where it could potentially be going. The Nikkei as well, this is we have a long trade. I'll go into the trades when we get to the daily chart, but just having a quick overall look on the weekly chart. The Nikkei for the week closed up 3.5%. Again, a nice strong bar. Their mark is most certainly showing the start of a new primary cycle or trading cycle. Looking at the S&P 500, that has had a nice strong bar in comparison to the previous weeks. Not as strong as, say, this type of a bar or the start of the last primary cycle. That's a really, really nice bullish strong bar showing that it's the start of a cycle here. This isn't necessarily that strong, but we did break up above the previous high, and importantly breaking up above the 50% Fibonacci level. So it's the resistance we were finding where the market was moving sideways here for a long time has broken up. I'd like it to see it breaking up a little bit more than that, so it's not that strong as a bullish bar. And importantly too, seeing though the last week it's been a Christmas holiday, it's very, very low in volume. Like looking at the individual US stocks as well as the individual Australian stocks, if you look at although a lot of them had very strong bars for the week, the volume behind it was very, very low. So unless more buyers come into the market over this current week or next week, those new high prices might not yet be sustained. So it is important to look at volumes as well, not just that the prices are moving higher, but we need volume coming in behind that to keep that momentum going. Moving now to the daily charts, we actually had our Australian 200 index short. We had some short trades we had going through here. We had one that started around this time frame. We had another that we got in short around about here, and unfortunately that trade went against us before it actually got to hit its profit target, and that got stopped out and did eat into this was a profitable trade, only a small profitable trade, only because it had its profit target hit quite early on, but overall the second trade here ate into the profits of our first trade, which is a shame. So that trade actually closed, the first trade closed at 60 points profit, where the second trade closed at a loss of 160 points. So overall we were down 100 points. The FTSE trade, the short trade, again, that was the same thing. We had a really nice FTSE trade number one coming here, and that got closed out at a profit of only 40 points. And then our second short trade that started here really went into our favour nicely initially, but didn't get as close as where our profit target was, which was only just down here. So it just slightly missed it before turning around and hitting the stop loss. So that closed out at a loss of 210 points. And with the combination of both of those trades, it was down 170 points altogether. So here's the market rallying up, reasonably strong, but not, again, as strong as what we see in a typical start of a new trading cycle. So I was mentioning that on the 27th there was a high probability turning date, and that if that date falls on a weekend, it can be a few days either side. So this becoming in line with the double top here, with this old top over here, we may see the markets retrace off this here. Now, should these markets break through, we'll probably see some very bullish momentum coming into the market and the buyers coming in. So if so, hang on to your hats, and we can get into some really good long positions. So